Welcome back to BTB Banter. I'm Levi.
And I'm Bryce.
This is episode 6. It's going to be superhero themed.
Yep.
Bryce, they might notice we're kind of dressed up. Any
Dressed
reason?
up a little nice. It's been a pretty dang good summer for movies, if I do say so myself. Like Levi said, superhero themed this episode. We'll be talking all about Marvel, all about DC. And we're just dressed up because, it's a special time, a special occasion. So many good movies this summer. We got Thunder, just talking superheroes, you got Thunderbolts, Daredevil, Born Again, show. What am I forgetting? Fantastic Four. I feel like I'm forgetting the big one.
Superman.
Superman.
Okay. Hell yeah. Anyhow, well, we're back. So
A little fun intro for you there. But yeah, obviously big summer for movies. Can't forget Superman. Hope y'all like the skit. I'm gonna keep the S on in honor because I'm pretty sure next up, right, we're gonna review Superman Fantastic Four.
Yeah. We're going to talk about both of them because those are probably the two biggest movies. Thunderbolts was pretty big as well, but I think a lot of people probably had a lot more hype for Fantastic Four and for Superman.
And hey, these two movies, they're kind of similar. They came out around the same time, and it's kind of clickbaity, but there's a lot of Superman versus Fantastic Four, which is better. Can't we just love it all? Maybe we don't. Let's find out.
All right. So, I guess we should go ahead and talk about...
I have no notes.
Me either. This was kind of on the fly. So, let's just go ahead and talk about this. Or, my first thought would be...
Which one we starting with?
I was about to say, how about we start with, which one do you like? Which one did you like better?
I like both, but I prefer Superman.
I also like both-ish. We'll get to there. But I actually preferred Fantastic Four.
Okay.
So, yeah.
We get some banter in.
A little bit of banter. Finally.
It's been a little too much agreeing on this podcast.
We've really been been in the need of each other per se. We've really been agreeing. So yeah, banter would be good. Something. Okay.
So we start with Superman a little bit. We'll just give we'll start with you. I'll tell you my thoughts. Just maybe a quick minute, what your review is, what you liked, what you didn't like, what your score is, something like that.
Okay. There's a lot of things I really disliked about Superman.
That's so negative about.
Let me go ahead and just declare and say I really like James Gunn. I think he's a great director. I think he's really good at writing movies. I just want to go ahead and throw this out there. I just recently watched all of the Guardians of the Galaxies, and just the music and the ending and all that, just every single one. I was it kind of moved me in a sense. I was like, man, this is such a good movie. James Gunn did great with directing it. I'm very pleased. Then I went and watched Superman. Anyway, but I watched Superman, and yeah, and I wasn't super impressed. I kind of was just like,
see what you did there.
I don't know. I like James Gunn, but I didn't think this was his best work. But I think for an introduction, it wasn't bad. That's why.
Would you say you enjoyed it? Overall, positive or negative? I know you're not very positive, but you say it's a fresher rotten, so to speak.
So see, that's why my review is kind of so it went up a point. I'm gonna go and review myself. It was a 5 out of 10 actually. Yeah, pretty bad. And I wanted to like it, but I really just was like, I don't know. I kind of don't like it. But you know what? That's why we talking a little bit more. I'm like, you know what? I think just credit alone, it deserves at least a 6 out of 10, which is still pretty low. Pretty.
In my opinion, 6 out of 10 is kind of mid. So maybe our metrics for rating things are different. But for example, I recently saw the new Jurassic Park movie. I gave it a 6 out of 10. It wasn't horrible, and I enjoyed it. 6 out of 10. Mm-hmm. But maybe your metrics different.
So that is kind of mid, but it's that's still okay. It's not going to be great. I'm not going to put it under
Superman mid. There's our thumbnail
super
right there.
Mid. All right. It was good. I just didn't. I think I just had a lot of more issues. Primarily the bigger issues, which I kind of have written down here. Yeah. I just didn't like Lois and Superman's relationship, and I know a lot of people felt very differently about that.
One of my favorite parts about the movie.
Yeah. See, and maybe it's I'm
surprised. I feel like it's a pretty. I've seen a lot of critiques for the movie. I don't know if I've seen that one from anyone else but you.
See, I think a big part of it. To out myself again, I haven't necessarily been in a big relationship, really. So there's nothing that's been I don't know. Maybe I don't understand that level yet.
We should deep dive that later. Yeah.
Yeah. So you want to go into this further later?
Yeah, I think we should give overall thoughts. Okay. That's kind of a deep dive into.
I don't have to go any further than that. But yeah, pretty much just basically, I thought it was okay. Wasn't the greatest.
Okay, well, you're hurting the S level. So what are your positives? What do you like about it?
Okay, Mr. Terrific. I love that. I love Lex.
He was a standout.
His hate for Superman felt very real. It felt raw. And I loved Lex, and I thought his team was like fun. And I think I liked the Justice Gang or whatever.
Yeah, I was like pleasantly surprised by that Green Lantern.
Yeah,
not the Hal Jordan Green Lantern, but yeah.
And I know in the comics they're very like kind of strict about like. They gave the people what they wanted because in the comics he's got that like bowl cut and like in the comics
Guy Gardner he's kind of a douchey Green Lantern character and he really pulled it off.
And I think he was great for it. And I was like, I know comic people who like really stuck to the books. They're like, we want that. And I was like, honestly, I liked him too. I was like, I wasn't against him at all. I was like, oh, he should look better. He should be better. I thought he was great. I did like the Justice Gang. Actually, one of my critiques, which I think we actually share. Like, what is it, Hawk Girl or whatever?
Yeah.
I did not like
They nailed all the characters, the designs, the looks. Stuff like, first of all, her costumes did not work. I think we both agreed that like she didn't have much to do. It was kind of cringe. The scream was just like cringe.
It just took me out of the movie every single time she screamed. I just didn't care for that.
And
I will say, but the colors, they're different than other movies, and I understand now why comic book people who really like the color aspect of how much it pops and how much the color difference and how you could just see it on screen.
The reds and the blues.
Yeah, exactly.
James Gunn said the cinematography is designed to, the colors are designed to match around the Superman suit. Everything complements it.
And I have a lot of respect for that.
Yeah. So I got a question before I get to my thoughts. Obviously, it being a Superman movie, Superman's a big quintessential of that. What did you think of David Corenswet's Superman? Like, what did you think of how they handled Superman, and then I guess also like the acting behind David Corenswet and all that?
I actually think he was a great actor. I think he nailed the part. Actually, I don't think anyone else would have played as well as a good role. I am not against him at all.
By far, I've historically, we can talk about this. I've not been the biggest Superman fan. By far, the best Superman I've ever seen. And my favorite Superman absolutely nailed the role. Like I finally, like I said in my letterbox, like I get it now. I get it. You made me get it.
Yeah, and I got to see you get it. I don't think I'm fully on board, but I understand.
It's always time. And are you excited for the DCU going forward?
I once again, like that's kind of also where my review is. Like I pumped up point. I'm like, this is the beginning. I'm going to give a little bit of pushback. But it's the beginning. I think it was a well introduction to how things were going. So yeah. But there was something else I wanted to talk about specifically. Oh. Huge spoiler warning, by the way. I was going to say my favorite scene was Mr. Terrific with the orbs.
The action scene, that was a great action scene.
Yeah, and it was kind of reminds me.
That was the only scene that I felt like straight up Guardians of the Galaxy, but like in a good way. It was straight up pulled from Guardians.
And I think that's exactly. But you know what though? That's such a loved thing. I don't see why we can't share that.
Why not?
So yeah, that's. So I guess. Did you have any negatives about it?
I had some negative. Do you want me to give my overall thoughts or tell?
Yeah, go ahead. You can go overall.
I loved it. I liked it. I loved it. But put the clip in. It'll be better.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it met my expectations. It really, if I can embody, like David Corenswet embodied the character of Superman. I thought it was fast paced. I love the decision to put you right in the middle of the story. It opens up with Superman like at a hard spot in his life. And it examines that, and it's like let's take a look at Superman when he's like having one of the hardest days, hardest weeks of his life, and like explore his character, his struggles, how he perseveres through. And the pace of the movie is so good, the visuals, the music. I love the rivalry between Superman and Lex Luthor. I feel like that's something Marvel's missing. Those villain hero rivalries. Like I think my favorite scene in the movie is the end where he's like crossed arms and he's staring at them, and you can just see the hatred and the tears in Lex Luthor's eyes. And I knew in that moment, like put the clip in. I knew in that moment that like this is gonna be a historical rivalry. This is gonna be, and it made me so excited for the future of the DCU. It entertained me. I know the humor is kind of a hot topic for people. Like there were a few jokes that didn't land for me, but I was like, this movie's like, I wasn't expecting a Superman movie to be funny, and like maybe you could make the argument like, Superman movie shouldn't be funny, but like I really had that kind of positive, upbeat, fun tone, and it was hopeful, and it's kind of corny, and Superman's kind of a corny character. He wears this bright, red and blue suit, and I feel like the movie kind of leaned into the corny stuff with there's like kaiju attacking Metropolis. He's saving squirrels. I know we can talk about that. And I know you said this. I think probably will be our biggest contention point. It's probably the thing I think we should maybe debate some of the podcast. I think it'll be fun. Is the relationship element. I was blown away. I have some probably about so many scenes. My favorite scene in the movie is like towards the beginning when Lois and Clark are having that argument. I just felt like I was so like hooked into engaged in the argument because both sides had really good points, logical viewpoints, and throughout the movie I just really enjoyed their relationship. And that's partially also just due to the acting, the chemistry. I feel like the most I've seen like two actors have chemistry in a superhero movie like that is Amazing Spider-Man 2 with Andrew Garfield and Gwen Stacy.
Okay.
I mean, it's very different, and I think obviously, in my opinion, the Superman was written better. But like, I'm just talking about purely from an acting like chemistry perspective. Like they really worked, and they gave Lois a lot to do. She wasn't just like a generic kind of like damsel in distress. She love interest, but she also wasn't like I'm the tough reporter. I mean, she helps him. She helps him out.
I
she cares about
that.
him.
Yeah,
and. Yeah, I really love the relationship aspect of it. I can go on and on about things I like. I don't have notes. I'm kind of just going out the dome here. I'm not very organized, but yeah. Overall, I think I give it. I don't know. I feel like it's an 8.5 out of 10. Like I think this movie is like, not objectively, but I think it's like a great, fantastic movie. But it's probably like 8.5 or 9. Probably I'm gonna say 9 overall. But I feel like a half point that just my like. Oh, I like that. It worked for me. It really worked for me. So,
I mean.
Yeah, we can dive into some of the specifics now if you want, but that's my overall thoughts. Superman kicked off the DCU. I'm ready. I'm excited for the DCU. Very excited.
Gotcha. I am actually excited for the DCU. I saw some of the movies, and I'm very interested to see what they're going to do with Supergirl with Millie Alcock. I like her. But we can get into discussion about the aspects of the movie and the film.
What do you want to start with? Let's talk about it. Let's start with we start with the critiques. That's where most of the disagreement's going to be. We want some banter. Episode 6. Let's get some banter in.
So, I mean, we'll save the relationship for a minute, but I just didn't like how. Okay, so maybe it's just the sense that maybe my idea of Superman isn't meant to be able to save everyone and everything. Maybe my mind is meant to be oriented around Superman will save every person, not everything. And that's
the squirrel.
Maybe see that's one of the bigger things. I don't hate it. I just feel like there should have. Maybe if it wasn't in there, I'd been a little bit happier. But like he didn't even want to kill the creature, that like kaiju thing that was like a little thing that grew up. I can understand that.
Yeah.
But also, my critique was, how did it get that big and not destroy anything in the beginning? Because it was kind of in a big grass area.
It could be implied it destroyed some stuff on the way.
There was no smoke, no buildings destroyed. It was just something like, it's not even a big thing, but it's something that I noticed, something that I think that takes a little bit away. And then like the fact that the Justice Gang came and they wanted to kill it. I'm fine with that. Cool, whatever. But like they were just provoking it, and like. I feel like if he really wanted to take it somewhere, he probably could have lifted it up, because he prevented it from falling down and doing a ton more damage, which I can support. I think that's good. But
he should have you're saying he didn't do a good enough job of like keeping people out of danger.
Yeah, and if he was gonna have the Justice Gang poke it at it and make it angry, it should have run into buildings, but it didn't, which I find kind of weird. Because if I got my freaking eyes poked at, I'd probably run a little bit and probably go smash some buildings.
Let's break some of that down real quick.
All right. Yeah.
So first, like my first counterpoint. What's the thing you said before the moving out of the city was something else?
It was too small. It was too big to be in that grass area. That's what I was talking about.
Okay, I feel like that's you could show stuff like that. Yeah, I understand that kind of stuff that doesn't bother me, but I feel like it would slow down. Like personally, I would rather just like I feel like you don't need to explain it. I feel like some movies over-explain things. I don't need in a Superman movie like Superman. I don't need an explanation for that. I feel like you could be like, oh look, we have like a news article like, oh, we moved it away from the city. Like it would take away from the pacing for me.
It's just making your tracks better. Like they could have showed some smoke in a building down. Like I know that's like I'm probably trying to die over a molehill here. like my point is like it's just something I noticed, that how did it get that big? It's a question that develops within my mind that wouldn't have to be there if it was like maybe a building destroyed on the way in. Something like that.
The main thing I disagree from there is him trying to save them. Even the squirrel thing. Like they specifically go out of their way because this is complaining Man of Steel. Superman's aura far. He's like jumping over like the things are blowing up the buildings behind him. He's just like, people are dying. He's not doing it. Well, they do a few, and obviously they do a few specific scenes showing Superman saving people, because at the end of the day he's a superhero. He's saving human beings. He's saving lives. They showed a scene where he's blocking it from the building and stuff.
Yeah, no, and he even made sure people were okay in the building. And
he catches buildings at several points in the film to like save from crashing the car later in the film. Like they did a good job of him doing like rescues and saves. Kind of like remind me like OG like Sam Raimi Spider-Man. There's a lot of scenes of Spider-Man just flipping around, swinging people away.
Okay, so like I have. That's fine. That's totally I feel like some of that's also just to give us, like, as the viewers, some cool shots of him holding something, get someone free. Cool shots because like he's pretty fast. He could be very fast if he really wanted.
He's a little
probably
could
move that vehicle out of the way before the thing fell. He could have moved the dog before the thing stepped on it. that dog that he uses.
Oh yeah, he blows it away.
Yeah, he could.
That was a cool use of his like cool breath powers, but
yeah. And I actually heard another complaint, and I recently thought about it. I thought we'll get to that.
Let's stay focused.
Anyhow, but so I feel like he could use that speed. And one thing I thought was kind of odd. Now, not that there's going to be damage done in movies. It's a superhero movie. The government said he's going to pay for all the damage that gets done and all that. So like when the thing steps on him and he goes underground, he digs for 30 feet or so before coming out. And I feel like it just cracks the street up probably so minute.
He's trying to save lives. He's the kind of guy, he doesn't care about. His number one goal, the whole reason about Lois and his argument. He's like, I just want to save lives. I don't care about the politics. I don't care about the money. I want to save lives.
We'll get there later on. I'll talk about that. But yeah, exactly. But I feel like, saving lives, but he also was underground longer than he needed to be, is what I was getting at. He was like, if his goal is to save lives, he should have been out faster. Okay. My point. Yeah, but
I don't mean her too long on this point, but it sounds like, kind of some little kind of nitpicky plot things. Couldn't maybe a few tweaks here and there you would have liked a little more.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that personally didn't bother me at all. But I understand.
Something that it's just not even that. Yeah, it doesn't seem that hard to cover your tracks.
My opinion is, and maybe some movies obviously do better than others, but I feel like if you want to, you could almost nitpick any movie like that. Even like The Dark Knight, you're like, oh well, Batman could, maybe it's worse in this movie, but it's not the kind of thing I look for.
Could, but I think it's hold to a higher thing because he has superhuman abilities. I think that maybe that's why I hold more to that. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. And then, I didn't mind that he saved the squirrel. I just thought, I don't know.
It was also, in my opinion, he's the kind of guy who would say, he's obviously, he's not like a humans die. It's not like a building's about to fall much human. He's like, I'm going to save the squirrel.
Yeah.
It's if he has time to do it, he's doing a little boundary sweep. He's like, oh, let's get the little squirrel. So
I can totally understand that.
He values all life.
And just, and that's fine. And after watching the Superman,
Go ahead.
And after watching the Superman, his character would save a squirrel, so I can understand that. Yeah. So I was like, I don't hate it, but I don't. And by the way,
it's not necessarily that I agree. The whole thing you're talking about, he's trying to save the kaiju. If I had Superman's powers, I'd probably just beam through his neck, cut his head off. I'm not Superman. I'm Clark. The whole point. I don't necessarily agree with everything Superman does. Sometimes to me, he's too much of a good guy.
Somebody said,
and that's what Lois said.
Somebody said, well, hold on, we'll get there. Somebody said online that we're talking about, and I thought about it a little bit longer. They're like, he's just the embodiment of good, and I'm like, I can understand that.
Yeah, but he's a symbol of hope.
But I think that's good. And we were talking about, and one thing that really gives to, one thing that I really liked about actually how him and Lois, when they were fine, she was like, you see the beauty in everybody. And I'm like, not to say that he's not human, that he's Krypton, but maybe that's some specific trait about him or anything. But I just think that actually is that
he's an alien.
And I was like, that is actually, I will admit, I do like that. I think that's one of the best things. That's one of the most forgiving qualities of his other things that I had problems with.
And I don't want to jump too far ahead here, but part of the reason why I prefer Superman over, I love Fantastic Four. We'll get to that in a minute. But is theme. I feel like Fantastic Four, maybe I missed it. I don't know. I feel like it didn't have much of a theme. This is all about Superman's humanity. He's an alien. He cares about you. It's all about this analysis of why does he do what he does? What does he think? What does he believe? It's this analysis, and it focuses so heavily on him using characters like Lois and Lex as antithesis of to his ideals and his ideas. It has a theme and it plays with it and it executes it well at the end of the film. With that, I think we should transfer to some or move to other Superman topics. Move on past the building kaiju stuff.
Yeah. I want to say though, at least I would agree with you that it has a better theme and that it probably could be a better movie. Yeah, it probably would be a better movie. But I think it's because of my issues with, the relationship is a big one for me at least. But that, I think if I didn't have so many, per se, issues or critiques, you would say, then I would like it a lot more. And I think, because the theme in Fantastic Four versus, the plot behind Superman's more interesting. Anyway, I'd like to say it is.
Yeah, about plot too. I really love the plot of the movie. I thought it was a creative plot.
I feel like actually, so I thought about this a little bit more. You don't know this yet, I guess, per se. But so we probably should have done a spoiler
warning. We're all over the place today.
We should. No. Spoiler. Yeah, spoilers. Big spoilers. Gosh, I'll throw it up in the beginning. Yeah. But so if he really wanted to kill Superman, Lex, right? He was like, I hate you, I want to kill you, and all that. And one thing that I thought really cool was he was like, he's not stupid to his envy. He was totally like, yeah, I'm envious. Of course I am. You're a super being. And I was like, oh, damn, that's kind of freaking cool. But it's just the fact that he made a clone of him, and then he could have used that clone to terrorize. He could have used that clone to ruin Superman's reputation. He could have slaughtered his reputation and then got him in prison. I feel like that
doesn't work. All Superman's got to do is fly, but hey, guys, not me. And yeah, it would create some controversy. I feel like that's too dangerous of a plan. Lex would expose himself.
I don't think that's actually that dangerous because let's be honest, it's Lex. He's smart enough to know, but clearly this is the way that Lex would think. I don't know, but the way that the movie went was how he thought. But still, I just think that it's just interesting that he could have also done something more with that. But I mean, the fact that they clone, and I actually thought it was really cool. He's like 1A, you know, like,
the 1A scene.
Dude, the fact that he was fighting.
Nicholas Cole as Lex Luthor is just such good casting.
I'm very happy because like it's such a hard character. You got to get someone who's charismatic and also someone who just has raw hatred toward. Like,
and he's evil. I appreciate.
Evil, yeah.
I like, I think not to like do the Marvel DC, but like Marvel does so many sympathetic villains. I mean, Fantastic Four doesn't do that. But I like this guy who's like he has some redeeming quality. You kind of understand it sometimes, but he's at the end of the day he's an evil dude. So
the one meme where he's just like
sipping the coffee. Yeah,
that's funny. I love that.
What else we got?
All right. And one of the other things was so my problem wasn't necessarily that they changed some of the lore. That's one of the big things, that they changed the lore from his parents, that they wanted him to. Yeah, his parents are evil. They wanted him to take over the planet and make a new Krypton per se, and he would be the leader, all that jazz. So that was confusing to me because of James Gunn's statement that he didn't need to change, like he didn't need to show you that there was he didn't need to show you that there was a baby coming from Krypton.
The origin story. You don't need to repeat the origin story.
Yeah, you didn't need to, and I didn't mind that actually. I didn't need that either. I think those can be important, but he was like, hey, you already know the story. Let me just jump ahead. And you know what? He saved us some good time. Like it would have been a lot longer of a movie if that. Yeah. And I'm happy for that. But I just felt like his statement toward hey, I don't need to do all this. I thought he wasn't going to change the lore, which he did, which left me more confused than shocked, I would say. I was more confused during the movie than shocked, being like, his parents are evil? I was like,
I was a little surprised by that. Yeah.
I was like, his parents aren't evil. I was like, it's obviously a ploy from Lex.
That's the one complaint where someone has. It didn't bother me as much. I'm not someone who's as much like a lore. Even though now this movie's got me so much in the character. I'm reading comic books and stuff. But beforehand, I wasn't that much invested in the lore of his parents. But it did surprise me. And it's the only thing if you're a long time Superman fan and you love the origin, I get that upset. It didn't upset me. That's the one complaint where I'm like, I get that.
Yeah, I was like, I just felt like where he. Yeah, and then Lex confirmed it to, I guess, his ally or villain ally, whatever. Yeah. He was like, hey, it's not fake, it's real. And I was like, okay, he doesn't have any reason to lie to this guy. They needed to reiterate that, several times just to get that across. But I think it was good. I finally clicked the third time or something like that if that happened. Excuse me. I just felt like that was just... It just confused me more than it shocked me, and I just was like,
my counter to that would be, the story James Gunn wants to tell, it plays into that. The theme of this, why does he do what he wants to do? It's because his parents gave him this commission, and he's like, I believe, that's like his inspiration. I was sent here to do good and help humanity. And then when he learns that's not the case, he's shocked by it. I mean, as you would be, you learn your parents are horrible people like that. That's a very upsetting thing to happen to you, then the whole world and all that. It plays into the theme, at the end of the movie, he plays that video of his parents because it makes him happy, makes him feel good. It's like a good little reminder, you're doing great type of deal. And as I said to him at the end of it, the video of his parents, what makes him humanity is how he's raised as a human.
I think that's really cool, actually.
And yeah, so in my opinion, and the reason why I don't have a problem with that is because it serves the purpose of the story. It serves the purpose of the plot.
I want to say one thing. I actually did not hate it. I didn't hate it at all. I think that was actually, I'm for that as an interesting point because that's different. Yeah. That's something new and it works. And it's also, it plays right into the story. It's perfect. I just felt like it was the way he stated it was, I'm not going to change anything, and I felt like it just was
I think you're talking about the where you say we don't need to see Batman's origin. We don't need because
maybe I just misinterpreted that as we're not going to change the lore, and maybe that's why I thought,
I don't
whatever.
know you are with other Superman movies, but they always all start off with shows his parents on Krypton as a baby, goodbye our child. You see the planet explode, and he lands. I think it's just saying we don't need to repeat the same.
And I can understand. I just felt like, hey, we're not going to change the order. That's just how it came off to me. Okay. And honestly, I can totally understand how that's way more personal than it would be a bigger critique of the movie. Yeah. But to be honest, it was as I was going to go back though, I like that point. I think I'm not against it if it were that's how the lore were to go. But I just felt like I was confused the first go around. And I will just say, this is subject to change, the 6 out of 10, because I've only seen it once. I think I need to see a second time. We'll see what happens from there. But 6 out of 10 is where I'm sitting at still. Okay. All right, and then the another thing I didn't particularly like was Crypto too much. Now, see, I know a lot of people love Crypto, but
I loved him.
I didn't like how he was just kind of untamed or whatever. too much in like where he's like beat half to death, and then he's jumping on his back.
Time, yeah, but it works for me, and maybe it's because like I'm a cat and a dog person, but I love dogs and I love animals, and like I really like dogs can be like that. They're kind of like frustrating, like you love them, but they're kind of piss you off. And
I can understand that. And I was like, I'm not easy. Like, and I totally understand the qualities of that because he's a super dog. Yeah, so yeah,
and it was weird. And again, it ties back to what I was saying, like it embraces the like you've probably heard people say this like so many times. It's a comic book movie. It embraces that. I love that about it. I love it. That's that kind of weird thing. Like if it was made like Zack Snyder would never put Krypto in his Superman. Let's be honest. And like a lot of filmmakers would. Not to like knock Nolan. I love the Nolan Dark Knight trilogy. But that's like very realistic, grounded. This is not a realistic, grounded movie. This is like a fantasy, sci-fi in another world. This is like an alternate version of our world that has superheroes and monsters, gods, and all these crazy things. Yeah. So it worked for me.
I mean, see, like, that totally makes sense. I just didn't love him. I didn't hate him though. Like I thought he was like fun to have. He's a character in the comics.
And maybe Supergirl. He's Supergirl's dog. Actually, you learn.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. But I was like, I'm not fully against a dog being in there. Like I'm not. I think it's cool that they're going with the comics and stuff like that. Like that's cool, and I know maybe I have a little less respect for that because I had read the comics, and I've seen someone else kind of complain where like he picks up like Lex at the end, and he just becomes an untrained dog for like a minute and a half or whatever while he's like messing up.
He's like messing up. Hilarious. He's like throwing him around.
It was actually meant to be funny,
yeah.
Oh, a little pushback though. You were talking about how it's like kind of corny and a little bit of about how like they were like had like funny moments, their jokes land. But I feel like there was a lot of serious moments, and then they would like just jump
undercut by the jokes.
Yeah, a little too.
I've heard that a lot. I didn't feel that. Well, first of all, let's talk about the humor for a minute. That's okay with you.
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, the humor all really worked for me. Like the best jokes being like the Justice Gang terrible name and like what's the name of that group? It's like Justice Gang's like you're in like that.
Yeah, that was great. That was actually great. I did
Jimmy Olsen like being like a player the whole time.
That was great too. Actually, he was one of my favorite things as well. Actually,
and even like Clark, like like Superman's kind of a serious character, but even he had his moments and his jokes, like the super shit and their whole arguments, all that stuff. I heard a lot of people say that the emotional moments were undercut by the jokes. So I can only think of a few. Like this movie was emotional, I thought, but it wasn't like super emotional. But it had emotional moments. I can't think of a single one that was like seriously undercut by jokes. I'm curious, like, is there like specific scenes you have where you think that emotional scene? I wish they wouldn't have put the joke at the end of it.
I'm trying to remember. I've only seen it once, so my memories, and it's been like a week or a half too. I don't know.
I mean, like when Lex kills the guy, which by the way, I thought was a kind of dark scene.
Yeah, I think that's actually good for him.
He's like, oh, well, that was only. I thought it was kind of worth it. It was kind of dark. I'm like, oh, that's kind of dark.
Yeah, I think
like the big emotional moment being at the end. There's no jokes. Like it shows him like looking at his parents. He smiles. It's like so wholesome.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad they didn't throw a joke in there.
There was a lot of humor in Element,
but well, kind of, okay, I hate that in a way to kind of slander Guardian of the Galaxy 2. Yeah. The second one's jokes didn't land for me, but I know they landed for a lot of people. Yeah. Same way with Superman. I know a lot of people landed for him. For some reason,
very subjective.
It didn't land for me all the time, but I think a lot of it was just because he wanted to move our emotions from serious to like joke, and I think one of them was when like they just had their big fight, and then like he comes back to like talk to Lois, and she gives him like a cup of cocoa. I think they like had like a little bit of.
Yeah, you could say that where like they're arguing and like the thing like super shit really, and like he can't. I thought it was so funny. Like, he couldn't figure out how to get the recording thing to work, and he's like,
okay, I can understand that. But I mean, the one where he's like, that gets me. That to me actually wasn't that funny because he seemed upset about it. He seemed upset.
Yeah, he did seem like legitimately upset about it.
But like it was maybe more of an immature upset that I was like, okay, that's not funny to me. Anyhow,
the suit is hot.
You're gonna stay in it whether you.
All right, you're right. I'm doing it for Superman.
All right. You're gonna represent.
This has been. Let's maybe get one or two more critiques, and then we'll have some more, maybe a little more positive thoughts, or about the same things we like, and then we'll end it.
Yeah.
We'll move to Fantastic Four.
We've been talking for a minute.
Yeah.
Okay. My last per se critique.
We talked about the Lois Clark
or one of them. No. We get there in a second. I have one more before that.
Okay.
The prison escape. I just thought it was odd. Like we did talk about this.
Yeah.
So we did talk. So you made a good counterpoint to where like I was wondering why. Okay, so the guy I don't remember the elemental guy. I'm just gonna call him that. Elemento. Wow. Okay. Great. The Elemento. He had his child right across from him in a cell in the pocket.
Baby
universe.
Joey.
Baby Joey, and he's I'm like, why would he put his child right above? Like why? And you made a counterpoint like, oh, I think you'd do that to torture him so that he could always keep him inside, and that makes sense. But why would he give him Superman? Like why? So he can form stuff on him. He can turn into elements. He can form Krypton. Why didn't like Lex just like chip off a finger of kryptonite, leave it in there, so he didn't have to have someone constantly who could turn against him that he was using to torture? I just felt like why would you put
they mine kryptonite off Elemento?
or something. Like why?
I feel like I don't think we discussed. I don't think that would work. But I don't know about the lore of the character. I'm only use like chop elements off him. But
well, even if it didn't, why would he give him the ability to keep Superman? Why would he give an exit door? Why would he keep him under someone who was kind of on the fence, who did not like Lex? Why would Elemento be the watcher over him? Why wasn't there more guards on him? I get it. Maybe he's so smart. Maybe he's like, oh, this planet's foolproof, and then...
He should have had more guards, but, like, I get the idea of, like, you're putting him in there with a guy who has kryptonite, and you have a gun to his child's head. Hey, try anything. Bye-bye, baby Joey. Yeah. And, like, I feel like that works on a base level, but I agree. Like, he's like, I'll be back. And he goes, I forget what the plot is, where he's going to go. But, like, they basically leave Superman with him alone. They should have left more guards. Because as soon as they start talking their plan, they should have guards. But, hey, quit talking, you two.
Yeah, I mean, they did have, like...
That's a small thing, though, I feel like.
No, we was gonna get out eventually, which is there has to be a good way. A good guy has to win somehow or get out. But I mean, I thought it was cool how like the prisoners were both like, "Hey, no, this one's mine. Guards." They were like calling guard. Yeah. I think that was actually good. Okay. I think we've talked about that enough. Thought that was kind of interesting.
Go ahead.
Go.
Yeah.
No.
I think we should move on to the last. I think the main thing we disagree. I feel like all the things we've discussed so far, like substantial, but I feel like they're kind of like, in my opinion, maybe they're not in your opinion, but I feel like they're kind of minor things. I feel like
sure.
if the Lois and Clark relationship's a big part, like that has to work in my opinion for the film to work. So maybe we should go ahead and discuss that.
Yeah, sure. That's a great point.
The relationship.
I personally didn't. So I know we kind of James Gunn was very specific about jumping in. Like, hey, this is 33 years later. He just got beat. All that, whatever. He was just jumping right up to where he was trying to pull us to date. But to me, maybe that's what robbed per se their relationship, because they only been dating for like 6 months or something like that. And I just felt like, she was like, oh, you let me interview you. And he was like, yeah, sure. And then he was acting like it was Lois Lane, his lover, her, the girl he was dating. He wasn't acting like it was a real reporter. And then she also knew things maybe behind the scenes that Superman, the person she was dating didn't like.
Do you want to stop there and discuss that? Or give your...
Well, I was going to say, I totally see where she's probably, where he was kind of more immature, like, that bothers me. Oh, that was this time, and he was acting like a real person. He was treating her as her, not a reporter. Which
I agree.
But I think that was like, kind of like, I don't know, it just felt like it was his fault.
Pause there for a second.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about those two things specifically. And we've already talked about this a little bit over PlayStation Party Chat, so you kind of know a little bit what I'm about to say here.
Sure.
But I've always said this a lot. I mean, I do like seeing good chemistry with characters, like seeing them fall in love, whatever, for like a romance subplot that works. But in my opinion, a lot of romances stop working when the characters get together because it stops coming in. Like, oh, they're together. What are they gonna do now? I think the most interesting thing you can do with a like romantic character relationship in a movie, book, whatever, is what happens after you get together. What challenges do you experience? What tests do you experience?
I will admit that is very important. If you can do it well, kudos to you.
I respect the choice to start there in like one of the key first events of the film being this big argument between them. And I agree. Like I think a lot of what he says is kind of immature. I think a lot of what she says isn't necessarily right. But I think that's also very realistic to a lot of relationships. Like, I've had arguments with my wife. Things say I regret saying, like, that was very immature. But you look back and that was very immature. You're right. He's not giving her the respect as a reporter that she deserves. Mm-hmm. And you can understand her frustration from that. So you see where he's coming from. And then what's their whole argument about? We haven't really talked about the plot of the film. The whole plot of the movie is there's this political tension, these two countries in the Middle East, and he's like, I just want to get involved and save people. And he's like, well, it's more complicated. It's a very political situation. You're representing America here, representing all these countries. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think it's very valid, like both points. It's a very real world thing.
That is very real world. And,
like,
I totally agree with that.
Superman is like, I just want to save people. Like, I just don't want people to die. You see him get emotional and frustrated. I loved it. As soon as I saw that scene, that's kind of why I knew I'm gonna love this movie.
See, I do like that he's like, people are gonna die, and that's also something I really liked about it. But I did not like, she did not support that, it seemed like.
Did not support what?
She didn't support that was his motive. But then again, maybe she was treating him like the porter needed to be. But still, after that, he was like, I need to go. She wasn't like, well, I understand why you did it. Like she wasn't like, people were going to die, and I'm glad you did it. She wasn't, and that's as a person, not a reporter.
And that was wrong of her to do.
So I feel like, but then she was considering breaking up with him. Kind of moving forward.
Yeah.
She was like, she was just venting to Mr. Terrific.
It's just gonna work. I'm dating Superman.
Like I'm dating him. I'm not really sure. I told him I wasn't gonna be. She sounds like high maintenance per se, but maybe not. Anyway, all right. But it's whatever. It's fine. I mean, I actually do like them together. I think she was a good choice for Lois Lane. I think she was really well. Yes. She kind of, to me, she felt like kind of treated like a fling. She was like, I don't really know what I want to do. I'm thinking about breaking up with it. But then he has the worst day of his worst week of his life, and she's like, well, maybe I shouldn't. Pile it on top of him. But why would I feel like your feelings should be your feelings. Not like, oh, hey, he's been through hell. Maybe I won't add one on top. I don't know. It just feels like.
I don't know. I mean, I fully agree. Like she was maybe delayed. I think they both had flaws, but in that moment, she's like, "I'm just done. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I'm done." And she was frustrated with him.
Yeah.
She didn't want to support him. She's like, "Yeah." She's thinking about. She's like, "Is this relation?" And at a certain point in a relationship, you've been dating. I think they've been saying they've been dating 3 months now. Like the kind of honeymoonish phase, maybe starting to get over a little bit. Like and like she's saying, like, is this going to work out? I feel like that's very realistic. And yeah, and like bad shit starts happening, and then she gets to see like when you're in your worst moments in life, that's when your real character comes out. That's when you're really tested. Sure. She sees who he is in his best moments and what he does, and she falls back in love with him. And it not back in love, but it confirms for her, and I feel like it just works. They're both people. They both have flaws, and like she does care about him at the end of the day. And they show, and she has stuff to do in the movie. She's not just sitting there. Like she helps rescue him when he gets stuck in the what's it called, like the little black hole, like alternate reality dimension.
Sort of.
Yeah,
but yeah.
And you add that with their chemistry they had together in their moments, it just works so well for me.
I just don't like how it felt like she treated like a fling. He was like, "I love you. I'm so invested," and everything. Like she was kind of like,
he was like,
maybe not. Yeah,
and she was like, "I don't know if I'm in."
Yeah. But it just felt like I feel like.
So what did you want her to be like? I'm in too, like because I feel like if you do that, it's not conflict.
See, of course, yeah. There's
to have conflict. One or both the characters have to be making a mistake, and I feel like she's not a flawed character. She makes some mistakes.
And yeah, that's great. I will admit, I probably can't write a great story about keeping things invested. I don't have a better story.
Yeah.
But in general, I was like, I just feel like she just kind of treated. I just feel like she wasn't fully all in, the reason what pushed her in to fall all in, it just felt like it was kind of, oh, he's been through hell. Let me not screw him over even more. And it's kind of felt like.
I don't think she's Superman. He's fully in. He's like, I love you.
Yeah.
She's much. Like, and this is, in my opinion, this is a character arc. A lot of Marvel, a lot of other movies, they don't have character arcs for the character. She's a character arc. She has flaws. She's not fully in, and then that relationship's tested. And yes, Superman goes through some shit. And she sees his true character, and the true character comes out, and she isn't. That's a character arc, and I feel like it works for me. And at the end of it, like she loves him. You can tell she loves him.
Yeah,
and you can feel the love she has.
Sure. At the end, I will admit that is good acting for that. Yeah. I was like, at the end of the day,
at the beginning of the film, you're feeling one way about her. At the end of it, you're like, okay. To me, in my opinion, that's a good character.
I just didn't like the journey there per se.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I can't. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I've only seen it once. I think I probably should watch it again to double check that. But I feel like the scene in the beginning though, where it just felt like
the argument scene.
Yeah, that to me felt like I think the biggest push off of the entire thing.
Favorite scene in the movie? One of the biggest problems. Yeah, it's just different perspectives.
Yeah, I mean I think it is completely different perspectives.
We talked about Superman a long time. Let's talk about a little more. This has been a lot of. I love this movie. There's not enough glazing for me. I just want to sprinkle a little bit of glazing to finish it off. Okay, I want to talk about some of the things that you liked about it, that I liked about it, some of the things I love. The action was so cool. What were a couple of your favorite scenes, maybe? We'll end with that.
Well, I was going to talk about first I already mentioned Mr. Terrific with the little orbs.
Mr. Terrific scene.
I think one thing we can already mention where the Green Lantern was like, you gotta upgrade, and then he starts like with the middle fingers and all that, like going everywhere. I think that was fun. I think one thing I also really like Millie Alcock. Not that was like a great scene.
The Supergirl cameo got me hyped.
I thought that was cool. Yeah, I was kind of hyped.
Great casting, great costume.
There was another thing I had written down. Okay. I think I really enjoyed that, like Jimmy Olsen. Was it Jimmy Olsen?
Jimmy Olsen, yeah, he's a good sidekick. Comic relief. Yeah.
Oh, that was great with that, like how the women were like just falling at his feet, and he's kind of like he's not like you're like unattractive. He's just not your handsome man in the world, and like he's
just the Riz master.
Yeah, he's literally she's gonna send him all these things to like save the world, like all these photos, and he's like, and it's like, wait, the entire weekend? He's like, he like takes a minute to like, this is the world is taking.
And the whole day playing a cast, I thought were really funny. Like the chief just had like a big cigar, and he's just like grumpy, and and the guy messing out, he's like, oh god, he's like freaking out the whole time. Like it just worked.
Yeah, I think that actually. See, like, there's a lot of good things about this. I'm not like I didn't hate the movie, but I just didn't love it.
No, that's fair. So, and I can't. Your criticisms are completely valid. Obviously, I feel a different way, but that's how you felt the movie. That's okay. Sure. I will say, it feels like I feel like you like more of the movie. You get like I think the character, the villain.
Maybe that's how it comes.
The relationship. I feel like the most. What I'm trying to say is, I feel like most of the things you listed are kind of minor things. The relationship thing, obviously, a big thing. The relationship doesn't work for you. Completely understand. Well, I disagree. Obviously, like understand why that would be like a big knockoff of points wise.
Sure.
But other things feel like kind of minor to me. Like in my opinion, going to this movie, here's what I wanted. I wanted to first of all get me interested in the DCU. Show me what this world is like, and that's a hard thing to do in one movie. Show me this world. Yeah. Show me some characters. What's the vibe, and then Superman. Show me like who is Superman. There's been a lot of controversy over Superman as a character following the Zack Snyder movies and all the other shows and stuff they've done. Show me who Superman as a character, and Lois and all these other important characters. Lex, kick off this world, entertain me. And at the end of it, it really did. And I love the ending of the movie. Can we talk about the line they use of punk rocker? Where they're having their kind of second, almost argument, where she's like, that's he's like a dog, but he's scared, he's alone, he's not even a good dog, but he wants to save him. And they're talking about kindness, and like she's talking about, oh, it's not very punk rock. He's like, oh, maybe kindness is the new punk rock. And then like it's kind of, that's a cool line. I like that. Maybe it is because we live in a world where there's so much negativity. Maybe the punk rock and rebellious thing to do is to be kind people. That's just such a small thing, but it works so well. And then at the end of it, they kick the punk rocker song at the end of it, and it ties you back to that scene. I'm getting goosebumps right now thinking about that. I loved it.
We can sell art now.
Okay, that was a lot. I'm sorry. I had to glaze for a little bit. I glazed there the last 5 minutes. Is there anything else Superman 2025 you want to discuss?
I think I just need to give it another rewatch and probably maybe reevaluate my rating. Maybe I'm looking into the relationship a little bit, and maybe the minor things really are minor.
Maybe you're not. If you don't like it, you don't like it.
I was like, so far, I
will say, not for everybody.
I think the biggest thing I just had an upsetness with is just how it felt like a fling to her. It felt like this is kind of say so. And I just didn't like that. And yeah, of course, there's got to be bumpy. There's got to be highs and lows to make a good story. But to me, it just felt like the lows were maybe just not very well.
Can I take this off?
1A.
Yeah, you can take it off. What time is it?
I'm not. I don't.
What time is it, Levi?
I'm not.
What time is it?
It's Fantastic Four review time. All right. Okay.
There's your daily dose of cringe right there.
All right. Yeah.
Let's talk after our around 40-minute Superman review.
Yes.
The next big superhero movie of the summer is Fantastic
Four. First steps, right? Yeah.
The first steps. Yeah.
The first steps. Yeah.
Marvel's first family. Let's start with you again.
It's one of the. Someone said, I liked it. I'm going to go ahead and say my rating, an 8 out of 10 is what I gave it.
Keep going.
Didn't think it was the best in the world, but you know what? I think it was, according to, after you were talking about, you're like, I don't know, Levi, there's a lot of things you like in Superman, that you're not like super again. I will admit, it's like I could be swayed per se, but at the moment
swayed to
still,
a 7 potentially.
We gotta watch it. We'll see what happens. I'm going to sit with my 6 for now. But yes, I did like Fantastic Four. Think it was okay. And this is also off the dome. I don't have any notes, but had a couple of critiques, but nothing crazy. I liked the. I thought I wasn't gonna like. We kind of already talked about this. I didn't think I was gonna like Johnny Storm that much.
Yeah, we didn't like the casting. We're like, no. Joseph Quinn. I don't know about that.
I don't know. He feels like kind of like just because he got popular for that one role in like Stranger Things, Eddie or whatever. Just felt kind of like off the rip. And then Pedro Pascal, there's a lot of hate going around for him, but as long as he can act or whatever. Reed Richards for that, I didn't mind him for that. One thing I kind of small critique. I guess we should go ahead and say spoilers. Big spoiler. He just didn't stretch enough. He didn't stretch a whole lot. He stretched a little bit here and there or whatever. I just one of my critiques per se. But overall, I enjoyed the film. Kind of like how you said with like Superman, you think the plot was like super kind of well developed. This one's not super developed. It's kind of like, hey, we're gonna go fight this guy in space just because we know there's a threat and someone warned us. Big deal, and they come back and they're like, oh, hey, we're not going to fight him because he has too big a height. And then it's kind of a mess on how they fight him from there. But they still do it. They get the job done, all that.
Out of 10?
Oh, I said 8.
Oh, 8? Okay.
Yeah, 8 out of 10. That's where I'm going to sit. Possibly to change. I've only seen it once. I might go see it again. I don't know. I'm just kind of debating on that. So,
okay. I think I originally gave 8 out of 10. I think I'm only like 7. It's in that 7.5, 8 out of 10 range, just depending on how I'm feeling. The movie worked for me. The big part of it is, again, the cast. Like, these are iconic characters. And the cast all worked for me except kind of Pedro Pascal. I feel like he wasn't bad, but he's like Reed Richards is supposed to be a big, important character in the MCU.
If they had done John Krasinski. All right.
I didn't even like John Krasinski that much.
I actually liked him. I think he looked cool.
He's okay, but I need a little more selling to Pedro Pascal. But I completely agree. I'm a big The Thing guy. The Thing is my favorite character on the Fantastic Four. One of my favorite Marvel characters of all time, and he was perfect. But they didn't give him as much to do as the other cast, which disappointed me a little bit. I wish he had more to do. He was perfect. Wish he had more to do. That's why my favorite character in the movie was actually Johnny. The acting, I thought was really good on him. And he had the best moments, I feel like the most one, which is he's kind of like a cocky, kind of a-hole, kind of like a flirt a little bit.
Yeah.
And everyone kind of thinks he's like not the smartest person because he's like the cool one or whatever. But he has moments where he's really smart. He figures out the language thing. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
But he has like those heroic moments, like leave my family alone. He's like, take me instead. Like it's not like we were talking about Superman. It'll be Superman's like, I want to see a hero. I want to, he's like the most hero. He has the most hero moments.
Yeah,
and that's important in a superhero movie for me.
I actually think I'm going to agree. I did like how Johnny was like, he was literally willing to kill himself, sacrifice himself for Franklin, baby Franklin, or whatever. Is that what?
Yeah, the baby.
Yeah, because he was like, he was gonna push him through the portal in the end, and he's like, I'm gonna do it, and it's kind of just hinted that we knew Silver Surfer was going to show up later, so I had a feeling something like that was going to happen whenever like he got shoved out of the way as she pushed him, kind of like he's convinced her to swap over, all kind of stuff. But yeah.
So I like the cast. That was a big part, and that worked for me. Reason it's not like 9, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, like 10 out of 10. I don't want to say the best thing probably about this movie is actually the aesthetics, this retro 60s aesthetic. That was really new and fresh. And I think I was expecting a lot of newness and freshness in the movie, but a lot of it felt like, not like bad, but just kind of generic superhero movie. Like, there's a big bad threat. The motivation for the villains felt very generic to me. Big bad evil guy, he wants to eat worlds. Why? Because he wants it all to end. Whatever. It's a kind of a repetitive cycle. And I thought it was very predictable. It was very clear Silver Surfer was going to, turn good and help them in the end. It was, her motivations, a lot of it felt kind of generic. I thought the action was very good. Like, it wasn't bad, but like, I didn't love it. Like, I didn't, like... again, time back to Superman, but I see a lot of comparisons between Superman and Fantastic Four. I get those views, I get those clicks. Like for me, Superman had more of a theme to it. More like this movie didn't really have, and I think I talked about this a little bit in Superman, it didn't really have as much as a theme to me. And I think maybe I missed something. Like I know it focuses a lot on the motherhood and the family, family, strength and family, that kind of stuff. And so there's some elements of that. And also like we can talk about the little things, like the baby and all that. That's kind of similar to you, Superman. Some smaller things. I had to pull my notes. I honestly can't remember a lot of the stuff I felt about it.
I was gonna say, well, one thing like I can totally understand like how like it's like 2 or 3 times where like Sue is like no, not Franklin, not my baby, and even though because Reed was kind of like he might be your ticket out,
that could kind of be the theme.
And like, you know what? I can't say he's like there. It's either one person or nothing else exists. It's only one child, either the child or everyone else dies, including us. And she was like, but I can understand the motherhood coming from that. She's like, no, not my baby. This is, that's not. And I thought they were gonna fight really big for like the second or third time when he kept looking at the baby. He's like, and she's like, you thought about it, didn't you? And he's like, well, yeah, but like I thought they were about to I thought she was going to run away and like hide him because she thought Reed was going to take him, but like it completely I was like confused for like a moment there. But so but I still think like one person for everyone. But then again, we don't know all the powers. I don't know. I'm sure there's a ton more lore about Baby Franklin, but
I'm pretty sure he's going to tie into Doomsday somehow in a big way. I think the whole motivation for Dr. Doom coming to MCU might have something to do with that little baby, which I don't know how to feel about that. Yep. But we'll see, I guess. And the end credit scene, they get me kind of hype. I mean, like we know that's Robert Downey Jr. under that cape there. Dr. Doom, man, he's coming. He's coming. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah, no, I'm looking
forward to that. I find it interesting, actually. I think there's a lot of similarities between Superman, and maybe it's where we start talking about kind of comparing the two movies. Like the relationship, a big part of Superman is the relationship between Lois and Clark. A big part of Fantastic Four is the relationship between Reed and Sue. I'm curious, what about their relationship? Did it work for you? Did it not work for you? Did it, because I know Superman and Lois didn't. Did this work for you? And why did it work for you, not Superman?
I guess it worked for me. Maybe because there wasn't. I mean, they were already married. It was like they were already together.
You see them in the middle of the relationship.
You want to marry someone you're going to be able to handle, or not to say that sounds like a bad way to say it. You're going to be someone you want to be able to be with, and they have problems. You can handle being with them. I don't know. You can make sure to be able to be there to comfort them. And he was with her every step of the way. When the baby was born, he was like, "I'm here for you," and
he's obsessed with trying to save it, and he's worried about it having powers and stuff.
And he's doing a ton of tests on it. Of course, he's got that. He's going to be a good dad. He's like, I really want to take care of this kid. He's obviously very invested in the kid that they're making, that they have. Yeah. So I don't think like they both care much, and I think maybe it's primarily focused. Maybe I think it does. Yeah, I think it works for me. But I think their focus is also on the baby a lot, not about their aspects of the relationship, which is probably why I can't say they're super comparable in my opinion, because I think they're focused on other things, not just them working. Because I mean, the only big clash that I think they had between them was, hey, baby Franklin, maybe bait, maybe not bait, and she was like, but they.
I say like the kind of I don't know, theme development is like, oh no, the baby's gonna have powers. Oh, it's actually a good thing he has powers. And like I don't know. I mean, it did like their relation did work for me. Like not as powerful as it did like Superman and Lois, but it did work for me.
Yeah,
and that's an important part to nail in the movie. So.
Yeah, I just think that they had different aspects of that. I just think that they weren't as like focused on each other. I think they were focused on the world, saving the world, and obviously
and
they loved
it's not a movie that's hyper focused on them too. It's about the family. You got Ben Grimm, you got Johnny Storm, his plot, and like all the other stuff going on in the world, Galactus, Silver Surfer. So it was juggling a lot too. But
poor Ben, bro. He was like, he just wanted love, and
they started to tease. Like I feel like you can tell there's everyone talking about. There's a lot of the trailers on the film. And I think it's another problem. Like, I feel like they cut a lot of stuff out. I feel like this movie felt very like chopped up a lot to me. Not always in a bad way.
Yeah,
but
I know what you mean. And I
like they were teasing that relationship, that he has with that girl, and it never really went anywhere. I was disappointed because he looks so perfect. I love him. Collaborating time. I love the collaborating
question to think about that, but I'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, it was kind of chopped a little bit. I was like, why didn't they do anything with that? But they're just going to leave that for the future, I believe. But him in the relationship with the chick, the school teacher, and he's like, yeah, I grew up there, and he's obviously like, I'm not a bad guy, this gonna work. But I had a small question. What do you think of the idea? So his hair grows, right? He's got the beard.
His beard,
and
ball hair. Is that where we're going?
Huh?
Ball hair.
Nope. Yeah, so somewhere like ball, like what about other hair fixtures? You gotta think that's gotta be he kind of disfigured.
That's part of the humor. Like how does certain things happen? How does he
handle that?
A lot of mystery.
Yeah, that is kind of. Yeah.
You notice? Marvel Rivals, his L1 abilities, he's like, I think it's called the Yancey Street Charge. Pop a clip of it. He's like, he does like the shoulder run charge thing. I don't know if you noticed, he did that exact ability when they were fighting Galactus, when he knocks down the columns.
Down the buildings?
I was like, he did his L1 ability, he did this Yancey Street Charge.
I did see that.
It's time, he needs to hit the ult and kill him.
I totally.
I love the Marvel Rivals. Yeah. Marvel Rivals has messed up everything in the MCU. Now everything you see, you gotta tie, like, you piece it together with the Marvel Rivals characters and their ults and their buildings.
Well, yeah, you can, yeah. I like the thing too. You like the thing a little more than me, probably. But
I love the thing.
I think the thing was probably. I like the thing a lot. Yeah, he didn't. I will agree. They didn't give him a lot to do, but I did like his aspects of where he was like who he was, like with the big rock, and he's like, say it.
He's just such a fun character. Yeah, they did that so well. The whole,
like, it's clobbering time.
Honestly, I liked him and Johnny's dynamic even more than like Sue and Sue. The two characters that worked for most of me were Thing and Johnny.
Yeah,
and I love their kind of like friend enemy kind of dynamic, and like the whole like he doesn't want to say that, like that joke. I felt like the humor actually even Superman did work more for me. That specific joke with it, say it, that you see in the trailer. That was, I loved it.
I will agree. I think their dynamic is also probably my favorite too. Yeah. And how like and hey, I mean Johnny also he's got his eyes for the Silver Surfer.
Yeah, he's still got a little bit of that Chris Evans.
Got that thing in there, and honestly, understandable.
Can't blame the man.
Can't blame the guy. Yeah. But I did. So it was like a month, right? They had a month to prepare, and then like he learned an alien language.
They didn't really explain it well. Whatever. Yeah. Like I said, I had some of those moments too. Like you had with Superman, I kind of did like that whole thing. I was like, maybe it's like I honestly I do need to rewatch Fantastic Four because I feel like maybe some stuff I missed. Like that felt very like I think teased in the beginning, but I was confused at it was and yeah.
I mean, okay, so small critique. Yeah, it's like he had a month to dissect the language and then learn it, and then he pronounced it perfectly. And she was like, "How do you understand my tongue?" Kind of like that kind of deal. And I'm like, okay, I mean, maybe that's just to show that the only way I can see that being plausible is that Johnny is smarter than we think. Yeah. But I just do
like that he's like you see the original Fantastic Four movie, he's just like a horn dog. That's like all he is.
Yeah, that's all.
He is smart. He's a scientist. I like to give that. He does have kindness. He's a hero. He wants to save people, but he is still kind of that kind of like cocky, horny, like freaking weird dude.
Yeah,
at the same time.
And so I was like, I guess I dumbed him down and for my expectations. I didn't expect him to do something like that. But I feel like maybe if he did present the language to I know it was like his kind of thing he wanted to kind of keep to himself because he's like, I like this girl, I like this Silver Surfer, I want to, maybe I should do this, I know that's a big part of that, or maybe that's why he wanted to keep it that way, because it was a little more emotionally attached to that, and hey, Reed, figure this out. He's like, oh, I got you 1 week, and here's the entire language, and we can talk about it, here's how to pronounce, like he probably could have got it done. Reed did have a lot on his plate, but probably could have figured out faster than he could. But maybe that's just due to my expectations that I didn't think Johnny was that smart.
I know we're all over the place. We have no organization. That's okay. We're just bantering here. We're just going.
This is banter. Yeah.
Two more complaints I remember in the movie. Like one of them was kind of a big complaint. I had it really the perfect half. I just didn't like it. Well, first thing is like going back. Like a big part of the movie was predictability. Like Superman. Like every scene, I had no idea where it was going. Like this is crazy. I didn't know where we're gonna go. It's like going all over the place. This movie I thought was very predictable. And like one of the elements, like with the plan to defeat the Galactus, it's not we're gonna move the Earth. Or whatever. I didn't have a problem with the plan. It's just like we know when the movie explains a plan like that, it's gonna go wrong. He's not gonna step in the middle of the thing. It was just predictable. And here's the bigger one. I did not like this scene. What in your opinion do you think is like the big emotional moment in this movie?
You're putting me on the spot.
I don't put any spot, so like no, it's okay. It's like the big emotional movie that they lead up to is like the potential death of Sue. Like you said, the family crying. It's like, oh no, did Sue die? Like it was so predictable she wasn't gonna die.
Yeah.
Like that's the big emotional moment in the movie. I guess you could say when they learn she's alive. That's the big emotional moment. But the big emotional moment is like, oh no, did Sue die? She didn't die. And it was so predictable. Like, oh, the baby's gonna save her. The baby saved her. But here's my opinion. My biggest disappointment with this movie, by a long shot. And maybe this is an expectations thing. But when this movie got announced, it's in Earth 828, I think. It's like a separate reality. That's so like that's a genius idea. We're in the multiverse saga.
Yeah.
Give us because then like what's the problem with MCU movies and superhero movies in general? Even like maybe Superman. Like we know Superman's not gonna die. You know, there's like what are the stakes? You know, like like we know like you're not gonna murder the whole like even Infinity War. I love Infinity War. But you snap it, they all turn to dust. Like holy shit, they all turn to dust. You know they're coming back. With an alternate world, you have the opportunity, and like everyone thought, you know, it's an expectations thing. You think that I thought for sure that this world was going to get destroyed by Galactus, and then they're going to have like, oh shoot, our world is dead, we failed, and then we go to the MCU. My would have been such an impactful ending. I would have loved the movie so much more. I feel like I wanted to be a little more darkness. Like maybe Superman, like I felt like had better balance of light and darkness. This movie, I wanted a little more darkness. You had such an opportunity with this like alternate world. You do nothing with it. Maybe it's because they want to do more stuff with it in the future. But in my opinion, Galactus should have cooked that place, killed them all. Fantastic Four feel like shit. Like we suck as superheroes. We failed the world. Let's not fail this world. Let's not fail the MCU. Avengers Doomsday. Yeah,
I can understand that. I actually don't think that's a bad idea. I think it would be interesting though. Like, I'd probably also I probably would have been more upset at Sue then maybe if that had happened. I'd be like, she wouldn't let her baby die. I mean, then again, I can't say that.
It would have made the movie more interesting.
Yeah, it
felt a little generic. It felt a little predictable to me. I think I'm going down to 7.5. I think I feel after discussing it with you, I feel happier with the 7.5 than 8. 7.5. Good by the way. It was a great movie. Action, fun.
I could be moved too. That makes sense because but I think. I mean, it was very predictable. I think that's one of the best ways to describe it is predictable. Because, like, I knew the Silver Surfer was going to come and, like, you know, it was cool to see John be like, okay, I'll sacrifice myself. But I was like, oh, she's going to come in right there. Like, I mean, like, it was
Galactus?
Solid, right?
Can we talk about Galactus for a second? So I like the movie.
Yeah.
What'd you think of Galactus? Just briefly.
I like Galactus. I think he was pretty cool. I feel like he could have done more. I
wish he was in the movie more. Cause, like, visually perfect. He looks so cool. He's, comic accurate again. Like a trend of leaning towards comic accuracy. But I thought his motivations were like very weak, and like he was okay in my opinion. Yeah. So just okay.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's fine. That's okay.
Okay. Any other final thoughts of Fantastic Four?
I can't think.
Considering the plot, the title of this thumbnail is probably Superman versus. I'm gonna lean in that clickbait a little bit. The reason why I think I like Superman better than Fantastic Four, like, if you compare like any category, like the main characters, I prefer Superman over the Fantastic Four as a whole. I feel like they focus more hyper on that. The relationship, in my opinion, worked better. Look at the villains: Galactus versus Lex. Lex works better. Look at the plot. In my opinion, Superman isn't predictable. Superman isn't generic. The music is better. I feel like everything about Superman, in my opinion. I'm not trying to overlay Superman. I just feel like everything about it worked more for me.
I do think I like the characters better than Superman. Yeah. Than I did like for this because that makes sense. But I still think I'll stick with my.
That's fine.
But
F4 only, Superman. If you ask the audience, what do you leave a comment down below? Superman, Fantastic Four, the rivalry. I think we're all just happy that there are actually good Superman or superhero movies. Coming out. Fantastic Four is great. We discussed it. It's great. I love Superman. You need to watch Thunderbolts. I thought Thunderbolts probably on this like the level of Superman for me. I loved Thunderbolts. Daredevil Born Again is a show great. Yeah, superhero movies are thriving right now for the first time in a while. And I think we can agree together that's a win.
As people would say, we're eating right now.
We are eating.
We're getting to eat.
They're cookies in both universes.
Yeah.
So can't complain about that.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's
excited. I am excited to see the future of DC. I am.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to that.
Doomsday looking.
If Doomsday is good. I don't know. I feel like because of the Kickstarter, it wasn't. I mean, it was good for the Fantastic Four, but I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I don't have like great expectations for the next movie.
And a part of it is probably like both those movies. I was obviously leading up to the hype, watching them behind the scenes. Expectations do play into things.
I think I have better expectations for DC like currently than I do more. Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Okay.
Until as of today, when they revealed the Spider-Man brand new day suit, first looks, behind the scenes photos, news, announcements. Spider-Man, he's poor, he's broke. He's homeless.
No one knows who he
girlfriend.
is.
He's suffering.
Us
Spider-Man fans love it when he's suffering, and that's where he's at.
We love that he has like half a carton of milk and 2 eggs in the fridge.
That's what we're talking about.
He's scrounging pennies to get rent.
And dude, this movie, the suit looks so good. The first reveal, I love it. I think Amazing Spider-Man 2 still the best suit, but this is probably the second best suit. And dude, Punisher's going to be in this movie.
Very
Hulk
excited.
is going to be in this movie. Remember, is Mr. Negative from the Spider-Man PS4 game? It's going to be in here. They're adapting elements of that. He's broke. What more could you ask for? We're so back. We were never gone because No Way Home was amazing, but we're back.
Kind of in a way like how like the origin story is. Yes, Spider-Man is suffering to pay the bills, kind of doing all that. It just took a lot longer to get there, I think, and I think that's what some people's bigger complaints are.
We're talking about the overall MCU, Tom Holland, Spider-Man.
Yes, specifically.
I get that. In my opinion, so there's Homecoming, right? And there's Far From Home, No Way Home.
Yep.
Far From Home should have been cut. Far From Home was a miss, dragged on too long. I think if you take away Far From Home, I think it's kind of perfect. Because Homecoming, you're like, oh, we're doing something different. It's a high school. As a kid, it's not high stakes, and it's really fun, and the humor works. It's like a high school movie, but like with Peter Parker, works for me. The No Way Home, I think we both agree No Way Home's perfect. And then if you skip to this, where now his journey, now he's an adult, now his journey, he's really suffering, and he's the OG Spider.
If it got cut, actually, I think that would make sense. Yeah,
I think Far From Home is a stumble in that, but so I kind of agree.
It's like how you're like watching a good movie, but it's like a lot longer. Like Oppenheimer, it's so long. It's like 3 hours. Like
it's like everyone loved Homecoming. It was successful. Like let's just do that again, but worse, and that's what it was.
Yeah, and so that's kind of understandable. But
so yes, MCU is looking great too. Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Very much looking forward. I want to see the Punisher be like, "Hey, Red, I'm gonna kill that man." Like,
what's Punisher gonna do against Hulk? Do you have any theories? Like, because they said that they're gonna be all fighting each other, but there might be like a real enemy behind it or something.
What if he's like, "Calm down, little fella," and he's like, "Okay," and then he just killed. Okay,
I just know the action's gonna be good because the guy who's directing this guy who directed Shang-Chi, and Shang-Chi had really awesome action. I'm excited for this movie, man. I guess you'd say this is our news segment there.
This is where we're at.
You should pop some images up there.
I was going to. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping to see. I'm glad
they're doing street level and not like a multiverse story. But if they did a multiverse story, I wouldn't mind either. But yeah. Okay, what else we got?
Is Red Hulk? Red Hulk's not going to be in there, is he?
Have you seen Captain America: Brave New World?
I have, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Then I don't think he's gonna be in it, but he's gonna be in the MCU somehow. But I hope they make Hulk like Red Hulk, like Angry Hulk. I think everyone wants Hulk to be.
Yeah, he hasn't transitioned into the Hulk in 13 years is what I heard.
Yeah, a lot of people say something's gonna happen that's gonna like trigger Hulk, and Hulk's gonna be messing up New York City, and kind of like similar to Superman, like trying to save people. Spider-Man's gonna be like, okay, let's not kill the Hulk. He's gonna be fighting Punisher and Hulk. And it's like this whole what's really behind this, like kind of mystery.
Punisher might provoke Banner to become Hulk, where he I could totally see something like that happening. He's like going everywhere.
I love that we're like fully street level. Yeah.
What if the plot is where it's like Punisher is like provoking Banner, and then Banner turns to Hulk, and Hulk wants to kill him, but Spider-Man swings the Punisher all around the New York, and that's why he destroys the city.
I know you.
Cut back to that. I'm not.
I know you haven't seen Daredevil Born Again, but you should definitely watch it now. Punisher is brutal in that. He's like gutting people's throats out, blood. So I don't know how they're gonna handle that in a Spider-Man movie, but
I like Punisher maybe more than Matt.
Oh, Matt Murdock, like Daredevil?
Yeah.
Daredevil's totally gonna be in this movie too. They're 100% doing it. So I'm excited for that.
So
yeah.
You want to cut real quick? Or?
Yeah, we'll cut real quick before jumping to our next topic. Levi, you're pissing right now. You're pissing in the toilet, and I'm here waiting for you. We're live, and you're pissing.
How long have we been recording for? Sure.
I left you a little message in there. You'll have to go back and find later.
Sounds sexy.
Feels good to get that off. I already took that off. Never mind.
Oh yeah. So, what we have next up on our small little agenda today, we have our top 4 superheroes. We're just gonna do like something known as kind of a Mount Rushmore, just like what's for you? What's Mount Rushmore?
Superhero themed episode
for you?
Mount Rushmore superheroes.
Might as well go.
Marvel and DC only, right?
Yes, Marvel and DC. Yep.
Oh no.
I kind of got mine. I don't know if one counts.
I don't got mine.
But, kind of give you more time to
think. Don't know if one counts. I'm really interested now.
Huh?
I'm really interested now.
Yeah, I mean, it probably does count. But, well, first off, I have a quick question for you. So, kind of between...
Oh, boy.
Actually, I'm going to wait a minute. Actually, I'm not going to do this just yet because I don't want to spoil something. So, I'm going to go ahead and... I'm just going to choose one. I'll choose one of my Mount Rushmore, like off the dome. You can go next right after me. I'm going to say Batman.
Okay.
I really like Batman a lot. He's probably one of my top 4. You wouldn't say top 4, probably superheroes that I just like. I think he's just one of the coolest. Yeah.
I think you should do all 4 of them. I'll do all 4 of mine.
Oh, just off the... Okay.
What's next? And then, by the way, this isn't ordered. This is just like the top 4 in no order.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit... Okay. The one that I'm not fully sure if it counts or not, Star-Lord, Peter Quill.
That absolutely counts.
I think that does count.
I actually didn't think about that. Let me add that to my list. I love Star-Lord, bro.
Because he's amazing. Yeah, I love him. I think, but there's a lot of different people that play this person. But I think this person's also huge. Spider-Man. Love Spider-Man. And then now to choose my fourth that I am not fully sure of. I'm gonna say Iron Man, I guess. That's kind of my fourth. Because Iron Man, like, the character's done really well. He's really cool. Got a lot of stuff. He
grows from the MCU, right?
Yes, grows a lot. I think I could possibly been swayed to choose Thor, but because his character is very, like, not very stable. I think I can't. I don't. That's why I didn't give it to him. But I do like Thor a lot.
In other mediums, though. But yeah.
Yes. And just one I want to throw out there that could have, like, my future prediction for possibly the future that might be switched out is possibly Adam Warlock.
Okay.
Yeah, I know that sounds really odd, but I think Adam Warlock. I like the idea of him a lot. But I can't say I want to put him in my top 4 at all.
This doesn't count villains, by the way. We're sticking heroes.
Yeah. And if you say one that I completely am like, oh my gosh, I didn't think about that, I might throw away.
Okay.
So we'll see.
I got a long list. I'm going to try to pick out 4 here, and I'm going to say them all. I'm going to give my honorable mentions because these are all like in a tier above every other superhero.
That's great. I like that.
Real quick, like, reasoning behind my choices. I'm trying to first of all, I try to do a good balance of DC and Marvel. I think we're figuring out here as I go through them and pick, but I think we do 2 DC, 2 Marvel. And also, I'm trying not just to look at the MCU. I'm trying to look at, beyond, like, if I hear there's gonna be a Blue Beetle movie, like I'm not basing off like what I've seen the character, but what I know about the character. Like, it's not just the MCU or DCU. It's just like everything about them. You know? Like, even like games and stuff like that. So I'm gonna get the easy ones out of the way because it's gonna be harder from there. Oh jeez. Okay, the two biggest for me. And these are the 2 obvious choices. 100%. These 2 are gonna be on my list. Are you familiar with the big 3? Maybe we'll talk about the big 3 superheroes.
I think, what is it? Iron Man, Captain America.
No, definitely not. The big.
Okay. Superman,
Batman, and Spider-Man. Those are the big 3 of comic book movies, comic books. Those are the 3 most popular characters.
Yep.
Those 3 might be most. We'll see. But I know for sure 2. Spider-Man and Batman are definitely on my list. And part of it is because some of these characters, I don't like, Superman. There's a lot of versions of Superman I really don't like. But then James Gunn's new Superman, I love it. But, like, I know, like, there's so many good versions of Spider-Man. There's so many good versions of Batman from the games. Like, I even, like, I'm not, like, we were talking about Superman in this episode. I'm not a big Zack Snyder fan. I don't like the old DCU movies, but I actually really like I actually really like Ben Affleck Batman. That's my favorite part about those movies. And like Nolan's Batman, the Arkham Knight games, the Batman. The more I think about the Batman, the more I love it. And he's just such a cool character. He doesn't have superpowers. He's a detective. Like, that's what I love about the Batman. Leads into the detective part of it. Yeah. And he has so much aura, creeping through the night. Creature of vengeance. I mean, he's Batman. He's on my Mount Rushmore. Okay. Yeah. Spider-Man. If we were ranking, Spider would be number 1. You know this about me. I am since being a little kid, a child. Spider-Man has been like an idol of mine. I've absolutely loved Spider-Man. All the movies, grew up with him, and I think he's just such a good character. He's a relatable character. He's such a cool power set. His reflexes and the way he moves and swings, and again, same thing with Batman. So many good adaptations. The Spider-Man PS4 games are like they're just so good. And the Raimi movies, I love Tom Holland, and I may not love the Amazing Spider-Man movies, but I love Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. I love him. Yeah, so those 2 are set in stone, and now I have to look at my list and decide what my other 2 are going to be. Okay.
You could do Star-Lord. I mean, I don't know.
I'm trying to decide. Okay, I'm trying to decide from. Okay, I'm gonna do one more Marvel character, one more DC character. Sure. I'm gonna say Superman. It's probably recency bias because of DC.
Well, that's completely valid with the new things coming out. Yeah,
it is. And that movie was so good in my opinion. It's like 8.5 out of 10. It made me like interested in the comics. And since watching the movie, I have read several Superman comics now, and I do really love the Christopher Reeve Superman movies, and I love the character. And he's such an iconic character. He's so cool. He's such really good like villains and storylines in the comics and stuff. And I love what he represents. And he's really exciting right now. I think he's just such an iconic superhero. I think he has to be on that list. So if my list of 8 people, it's mostly Marvel. I'm not gonna lie, but like Superman and Batman, they're just such cool characters. Yeah. And by the way, that's why I can't wait for them to get them together. Hopefully, like done right. Like, but yeah. So now I'm gonna pick one more Marvel character, and I'm trying to decide. I'm just going to spoil it. I'm trying to decide between Daredevil and Wolverine. I feel like
okay, I can totally understand that.
And I think based off the logic and the reasoning I gave at the beginning was, if you announced the Wolverine project, Daredevil project, the only thing I really know about Daredevil is the Daredevil Marvel show. And if we're going off that, it's Daredevil. But I think because Wolverine's such a more Hugh Jackman's Wolverine is like the Wolverine, but like if they announce it's a new Wolverine, like I'm in. Like who you cast, like
Gosh.
and like he's so cool in the comics, and like the pure rage of the character, the claws, and like he's not invincible. Like you can't kill him, and he's just such a like this angry force. He's a cool character.
Man, yeah, you got me rethinking my last
but Daredevil,
one a little bit.
Like from a character perspective, like I love like how deeply that show dives into like the morality. Like I feel like it does Batman almost better than Batman. Sometimes like the like I don't kill thing, it plays with that. Batman just doesn't kill because like I don't like killing it. Whatever, that's fine. A lot of like Superman doesn't kill, whatever. But Daredevil's reasoning for why he doesn't kill, I think, is much more interesting. And a lot of it has to do with religion and all that stuff.
I think that I can respect that. Yeah.
And like. His powers aren't realistic, his like super hearing. I think it's a little corny sometimes. It doesn't really work for me. I'm getting off track. Okay, my top 4: Spider-Man,
Sure.
Batman,
Superman,
Wolverine, and Superman. There you go. There's my Mount Rushmore.
I had a feeling you'd choose Wolverine. Yeah, you're a little more Wolverine-y
I'm
than
gonna just real quick give my honorable mentions. Obviously, Daredevil, spoiler, he's my 5th, and then last 3, Star-Lord. Good reminder there. Forgot about him. Love me some Star-Lord. This is kind of cheating because he's kind of a villain, kind of hero. Magneto. If I was certain, he would probably place Wolverine because like the way they play with his power set and everything, and his character is so cool as well.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I love Magneto. Freaking love Magneto. And then the Thing. Probably that's
well, yeah, you had a lot. Yeah, you thought a lot more than me, but yeah, no.
Yeah, sorry if I went on a little long there, but
that's completely fine. Yeah, I think I'm happy with my list. Hope you're happy with yours. Yeah, when we got the honorable mentions out there, I would say. Definitely throw probably Wolverine in one of my honorable mentions as well.
I got you.
I'd probably even throw the Punisher. Maybe I like the Punisher over than
Punisher's
I like Matt Murdock, but he is cool. I do like Matt.
You gotta watch it on board again, man. I'll tell you, there's philosophical arguments between Punisher's like superhero philosophy and Daredevil's superhero philosophy, and they conflict. And it tests it, and like Daryl's like, I don't know, you might be on his. It's so good.
That would be interesting. Okay, yeah, I'll check it out for sure sometime. Okay, they brought me up to one of my questions I wanted to talk about.
Oh
boy. So, Superman versus Batman. There was a movie made about it. I think Snyder made that.
Batman versus Superman.
Yeah, or Batman versus Superman. And I can totally understand how a lot of people were like, a lot of people didn't like it. Yeah, but so like, I just wanted to get back on the question per se. Who do you think would win? Batman versus Superman.
Oh God, this argument.
Yeah.
If Batman has prep time, no one can beat him. I don't like that argument. I think Superman beats Batman, and I love Batman.
Me too.
Oh wow, I'm
not even gonna see. I love Batman. I love
the prep time argument. Like Batman versus an army of 500 million super soldiers. Batman, if he has prep time. There's limits to that. He's still a human being.
See, I was like,
Batman's a powerful, incredible, like strong character. Don't get me wrong.
The fact that he has billions of dollars in prep time and the world's probably the greatest detective per se.
Yeah.
Great, yeah. I'm glad he's got that. But I'm sorry, can he stop a rock? Superman could go find a star, a comet, some metal never
just
heard of.
Just laser him, he's dead.
Well, no. Let's just even just entertain him without laser. He could go and get a random rock that's probably never been seen before, some kind of strong metal that's never ever, whatever. You go grab that. He's got super. You can see where he's at, and then just pelt the frick out. You just throw a rock really far and hit Superman. Not Superman. Hit Batman and just kill it. Like the sheer impact of that. I mean, like if Superman has super speed, he's dead. I don't care if he has to somehow shoot. I don't care.
Get passionate.
I was like, see, I like Batman over Superman, but I think Superman still beats Batman. And
Superman can fly around the world fast enough. He reverses time and crap.
Exactly. He can really reverse time. He's like, oh frick, I'm gonna reverse the time 20 years and kill him as a child.
Fair point. If Batman does that, he has some kind of kryptonite nuke or something. Yeah, if you put him in if boom, pop him in a room, Superman's win.
Yeah.
And by the way, the prep time argument, do we make that argument with all characters? I thought we were putting these characters in an arena and making them fight.
I feel like that argument should be able to be made because it's like, oh, okay, well, let's say he knows everything about it.
And Batman plans for years on a plan to kill Superman. Yeah, maybe pull it off.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, if he planned and Batman didn't or Superman didn't know Batman had it out for him. Yeah, sure, they could. Batman might have the upper hand there. Sure. Yeah. But
cool segment there. Batman versus Superman. There we go.
Yeah, good stuff. I still think it's almost no question though. Superman wins. So yeah, just wanted to get that out there. See what you thought. I'm glad you agree. So because I
let us know your thoughts.
We'd have had some.
Actually, don't. I'm tired of this argument.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't let us know your thoughts.
All right. Whatever. So, and then I see right here you had mentioned this about Marvel versus DC.
Oh yeah, which one? So this would be the Marvel versus DC themed episode. I can't pick one. Marvel or DC. What are you picking?
I think because of just how much the sheer volume, I'm gonna have to go Marvel.
What about the Nolan trilogy?
See, I love.
Is Batman your favorite superhero?
That's what makes it hard.
Yeah, is Batman your favorite? If you had to pick, I know we didn't.
He probably is my favorite. Which is why it's hard. But
and
Star Lord,
DCU?
Spider-Man, I'm okay. You know, those will be my comfort. I pick
Marvel too, if I'm being honest. Just because, like, even on my list here, like I have Batman. There are other DC characters I like. Like the Green Lantern's really cool. There's a lot of cool characters, you know, like Wonder Woman. But Marvel just has so much more. I could create I don't know. It's hard. And the games too, like Rival, Spider-Man 4. I don't know.
I mean, their characters. It's hard, but they've had a lot of time to get things out there.
And they're just. I mean, we don't know that the new DCU is going to work out. If it doesn't, suck. But Marvel, there's already a whole cinematic universe. There's tons of games. There's tons of comics.
And maybe it's just because part of it I don't know, but I feel like there's just a ton more characters to choose from in Marvel than there are DC. And maybe it's part of that I don't know that there's a ton more DC.
Pretty similar number, but there's a lot more better known ones at least. Yeah.
So okay. Okay, wait, I have an idea. Okay. You can choose 3 superheroes from the MCU to kill Superman. Who you choosing?
Oh my gosh, I forgot a character in my Mount Rushmore. Doctor Strange. I love Doctor Strange.
I knew Doctor Strange was being the...
I'm picking Doctor Strange as one of my 3 to kill Superman. Maybe edit, pop in a Doctor. I don't know.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is on my Mount.
He's gonna cook.
He's in line with the Mount. I love Doctor Strange. That's a cool character. Doctor Strange, I thought has a lot of opportunity to kill Superman. He can like open other dimensions and portals.
He's got huge potential.
Really smart guy too. So I'm going.
He's a doctor. Yeah, he's a real
Doctor Strange. I'm gonna be careful not to spoil things about Thunderbolts for you, but I'm just gonna say the character's name.
Okay.
Sentry.
Okay.
Sentry. In fact, I think Sentry by himself might could do it.
Oh wait.
Or Void.
I think I know who that is. But I could be wrong.
You might be familiar with them, but you don't really know it until you see the movie, and then you'll be like, "Oh, I see."
Okay.
Sentry, I think Sentry will. I could do it. Sentry, Doctor Strange. Who else?
I have 2 that probably work.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean,
we'll work together here.
I would say Doctor Strange as well. Actually, I don't know the Sentry feller, I guess, but I would say, I mean, Scarlet Witch is also very powerful. Could also throw her in.
Oh, yeah.
We already got
There we go.
We already got Doctor Strange, but you know, whatever. And then I mean, Loki. Loki's like a really big deceiver. He'd probably show Lois dying or something like that. And he'd probably no. And then Doctor Strange put him in a box.
I'll go Scarlet Witch, Doctor Strange, and Sentry. I think Superman's cooked.
Sure. Yeah. All right. Good deal. You wouldn't put Batman with the limited prep time?
No.
Darn. Okay. All right. So, all right. Then yes, this one more question. Just
want me to ask a question?
Yeah, you sure you can go.
What superhero's powers would you want? Or in the case like Iron Man, you can have like Iron Man suits and brain, or Batman, you have his like technology and knowledge of martial arts, whatever, stuff like that. Or Superman, you want to fly around. Spider-Man, want to be Spider-Man. What do you do?
Okay. I think Batman would be amazing, but
you're just a human. You haven't changed anything about yourself.
Well, I mean, you said the brain. I'd be the greatest detective ever.
You have the brain, the tech,
whatever.
the money.
I'd be able to go around and
you're
have
rich.
Billions of dollars. Yeah, but. And well, we're gonna go ahead and discredit the idea that you'll be caught, of who, you know, like your identity would be revealed and someone would be able to find you. The government, you know, in today's world, that'd be kind of hard to be found. But I think Spider-Man would be pretty cool. I mean,
that's my answer. I'd be Spider-Man. I'd be freaking Spider-Man.
See, I think
swing
I
around,
knew yours would already be Spider-Man.
Reflexes.
But I was like, now you think about it, I was like, but he's also like
I'm
reflexes.
Literally him.
Why did Ryan Gosling pull up our show? Okay. I don't think. See, whenever I played the Spider-Man game on PS4 or PS5, whatever it was, and you got to swing, I'm like, holy cow!
It's fun.
It's like there's no way
not as powerful as like Superman, but it's fun.
You may not be Superman, but Batman can't do that. And I'm like, I like Batman too. Like I really like Batman, but I think Spider-Man's abilities, and he's also got the Spidey sense. You know, he's got super reaction. He's really strong. You know, I'm like.
I might do Superman also because then you're just the man. I can literally actually, you know what? I'm changing my answer to go Superman. I like Spider-Man better as a character, but now I'm thinking about it. Like if I'm Superman, I can literally just like fly into space. Like imagine that. I don't have to worry about falling death. Like you're the Man of Steel. That
sounds a good point too. Actually,
I'm just gonna be Superman. Actually, that's easy. I like Spider-Man better, but I'm Superman.
Repellent. I'm not choosing. I'll choose Spider-Man still. But yeah. Let's take a quick cut, real quick.
Ethan, do you want a cameo in the podcast?
Sure.
All right, Ethan, we're going to ask you a couple questions. Marvel or DC? Which one you picking and why?
I don't really watch either of them, but I guess Marvel because actually, hold on.
Batman's in the DC.
Actually, Batman is pretty cool. I do like the aesthetic of Batman. But the more recent Batman movie with the guy from the Twilight. Whatever.
Robert Pattinson?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Jawline. Yeah, I thought that one was pretty good, actually.
All right. DC it is then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
There you go.
I can respect the game.
Yeah, okay, that's great.
Okay, you are on the run for 24 hours, whole day. What 3 superheroes are you having to protect you? I'm going to go ahead and eliminate Batman, Doctor Strange,
I like this.
Sentry, and Superman. Just to get rid of the big guys that you can just easy choose, you know?
My number one pick, you didn't eliminate anyways, it would have been the Flash.
What the frick? All right.
Yeah. He's going to quickly teleport around
Sure.
and get rid of any threats. So I'm picking the Flash. I'm picking...
Black Widow, obviously.
Oh, yeah. No. I'm picking Spider-Man only for the reason that I want to be saved by Spider-Man. I want him to pick me up and carry me, swing me away to a private place.
Wait.
Flash, Spider-Man, Hulk, in case there's something big, freaking robotic thing you gotta smash. Hulk smash.
This is a bad choice.
Yeah, there we go.
Sure. Yeah, the Flash is a great choice. I actually probably would have chosen as well. Spider-Man's a good choice. I can understand that. Yeah, we'll leave it strictly to the DCU and MCU.
Okay.
I have something written here as well, or typed out, saying trend more comic book accuracy.
Oh yeah, that was a discussion, and we talked about it a lot in Superman and Fantastic Four. Galactus being so comic accurate, and the whole entire movie of Superman being very comic booky. Yeah. Well, I mean, do you like? I mean, and even I don't know, even the new Spider-Man movie, what we know about it so far, it's like a comic book. There's this Hawks in it and Punishers, and that's something you would have never imagined 10 years ago.
Yeah.
It's I feel like there's a trend with superhero movies in general for being more comic booky, versus if you think about it, not to crap in the 2010s and stuff, the 2010s were defined by the Nolan Batman trilogy, and that's a masterpiece of a trilogy, but they were defined by that. I feel like everything following that has been so serious and very great. And the Captain America, not Civil War, well, also Civil War, but Winter Soldier is an example of that. It's a very Nolan-esque inspired. It's very serious and it's very gray and not colorful, which is probably not necessarily a bad thing, but so many superhero movies released in that time have been like that. I feel like now we're finally in an era where we're kind of leaning into the comic book weirdness elements and maybe more colorful and explorative. Not that every movie needs to be this fun comic booky colorful movie, but I just feel like there's a trend towards being more comic accurate. What do you think about that?
I think you're right. Actually, I think we are leaning more toward comic books, just trend movies, and I think that's a good thing actually. And it's going to make a lot more people happy, which is going to make a lot more viewers, and a lot more people are going to make more money.
Yeah,
I think that's a good thing. So, yeah, cool. Well, I mean,
good little clip there.
Is there anything else you have that you want to talk about?
This is our superhero themed episode. I feel like there's an endless amount of topic. Maybe we'll do part 2 of this because I feel like there's a lot of things I'd like to talk to you about. Maybe this is something we can talk in a future episode. Maybe do a little more. We can do some research, the future that you talk about. You're excited for the future of DCEU. Maybe we could talk about some of the future projects, which ones you're most excited for, stuff like that. I feel like that could be interesting.
Most anticipated or something, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, there's just kind of, we obviously, I think it was a good episode. We reviewed Fantastic Four, Superman. We had some good banter there.
Yeah,
we compared the two.
Finally need to talk about something. Maybe this will
finally be the episode where we get a little bit of views, a couple comments, a little hate comments, a little love, a little something. Maybe...
Tell me how wrong I am for hating Superman.
Let him know.
Let him know. Superman. Yeah.
I don't know. It was a good episode, I think. So, I like superheroes. I mean, I don't want to be known as the superhero movie guy because I feel like there's other movies I love so much more. But I feel like it's okay to we're in a good era for superhero movies. And let's appreciate it.
I don't think there's anything wrong with enjoying a good Superman.
Yeah, I like good Superman. I like my good kind of artsy film movie here and there too. I like it all. But yeah. Let us know if you want to talk more superheroes. Let's do it.
Yeah. All right. Well. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Follow us on our socials and check back with us next time.
Stay punk rockin'.